Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, December 28th, 2016 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I respond with my light in the flow. And we're going to really work on releasing control and being in the flow today and hold tight with me as we go through the flow because there's a lot going on as we build into this new moon. This new moon is happening Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, depending where you are at watching this horoscope. It is happening at 10:53 p.m. Pacific time, so late in the evening here on the West Coast. This new moon is happening right on the edge of 7 degrees, which is being in that flow, and then 8 degrees, which is that degree of Capricorn, which is that degree of being able to show up. It's also a degree of flow, because one of the things I like looking at the 8 is that it's the infinity symbol. So it's like this flow that never stops. It's also as above, so below. So it's really continuing that energy of the 7, that spiritual flow, and bringing it into the level of the 8, showing up. And I think it goes really with the horoscope that I did yesterday that talks about working as hard in the invisible as you do in the visible, as hard in the visible as you do in the invisible, working with that balance energy of showing up in both areas. And the astro today, as we build into this new moon, is helping us do that. So we begin the day with the moon shifting into Capricorn. So it's the dark of the moon building to this new moon. We are finishing up 2016, a year of 9. 9 is an energy of endings, completion, karmic stuff, which has, been going on, unfolding, shadows being brought to the surface to be dealt with. So we've been dealing with all of this through 2016. And as we finish up in this, to me, this new moon is like almost the new year energy as we finish this energy up and then bravely step into this new energy. I mean, we still have a few days of 2016, but this is what it kind of feels like to me. This new moon is like opening the door to 2017. And what's interesting as well with this new moon is that it actually has Uranus going direct right on its heels. And so we've had Uranus retrograde for basically like the last 6 months, taking us deeper into our I am vibration. And now as it goes direct, here we are, knowing ourselves on a deeper level. From what we've gone through in 2016, these lessons that we've processed, and from digging deeper within us to bring forth the light of our I am, the light of the flow of our vibration, and bringing this forward into 2017. So it's so much new energy coming in as we finish up this old energy. So, moon into Capricorn. The sun is going to conjunct Mercury. Mercury is playing a big part in this energy. Mercury is retrograde. And if you remember, what we talked about for this Mercury retrograde is releasing control. So this is a big part of letting go of 2016, letting go of the control of how you think that these things should be, need to be. So we're releasing that energy as the sun conjuncts Mercury. 7 degrees, that degree of spirit, allowing spirit to flow in, have its way. Another big thing that we have going on today that we've been working into is Saturn square Chiron. So Saturn and Chiron have been hanging out at 20 degrees, working with that Jupiter-Uranus energy. They've both shifted to 21 degrees. That's a 3. That's a degree of expansion. And I think this is actually a really important connection to have as we finish up 2016 and move into 2017 and move into the new moon energy. And I'm going to show you my card. So I have the Thunderbolt card in reverse. And I think some of us can say this was kind of 2016. I pulled this card at a very pivotal moment for myself in 2016. And I can say I have been through this process this year. The Tower. 2016 was not out to get us. This card, when I pulled this in this pivotal moment in my life, was not out to get me, but it was showing I had places I needed to release. I needed to let go. I had ego process to work through. I had heart process to work through. I had to deal with my masculine and feminine energies. And this to me is a bit of this Saturn Chiron energy coming together, is recognizing that these lessons of 2016 were not out to get us, but were rather here to bring divine healing. The healing card from Osho deck. Anyways, this energy, this is what a healing crisis. I say that with quotation marks because I think healing crises can be known as healing crises, but what they are is just healing. And sometimes you just got to be in that energy. You've got to be with the pain. You've got to be with the hurt. You've got to be with the shadows. You've got to be with the parts of your ego that are holding you back or are afraid of moving forward. And so it's recognizing this. The Saturn Chiron square, what I want to get into the heart of is the ability to expand from it. And I believe the ability to expand through this energy is by bringing in the energy of forgiveness. And one of my teachers this year, he doesn't like to be called a teacher, but one of the people who helped me this year brought up the energy of forgiveness and how important forgiveness is. And I think this is a big part of walking into this new moon whole and holy, is recognizing the gifts that 2016 brought. Overall, the gift of forgiveness. And his version, this person's version of forgiveness, is releasing the hope that something could have been different than it was. And I believe that this Saturn-Chiron square is all about finding that place of forgiveness within yourself, within the world, within others around you. The world needs forgiveness. I mean, look at, all of the anger and the angst and the aggressiveness that has come forward in this year between light workers, between friends, between lovers, between families, between politicians, between movie stars and politicians, all this energy. Can we find that place of forgiveness? Can we find the place where we're like, your truth does not at this time resonate with my truth. However, you have to be who you are, and I'm going to be who I am. And I can find this place of expansion and allowing in that energy. This, to me, is the heart of this square. There's still going to be healing that needs to be done around it. There still may be some more of this little thunderbolt energy, although we have it in reverse. So to me, it's like, no, we've been through this process, and now it's time for this healing process. It's time for this expansion process. We've had Saturn and Sagittarius long enough that hopefully we have worked through much of this energy of only my truth is right. And we're getting to the point being like, okay, many paths to the light, because ultimately that's where we're all going. And that's what we're all working on bearing, is the big, beautiful light that we carry within. So this to me is a really important piece in moving into this new moon energy and finishing up this 9-year so that we can plant these seeds with this new moon, anew in fresh soil. So as we move on through the day, we have Mercury connecting to Mars. And again, there's a 7-degree energy happening with this. 7 degrees, that flow that we're moving away from control and into this healing energy, into the healing flow of our light. The moon is also going to conjunct Mercury. And so Mercury, retrograde, releasing this control, releasing the idea of control, relax, no, nothing's under control. This is a big part of this moon. This new moon, not the moon. Can you surrender to this flow? Right before we finish up the day and finish moving into this new moon energy, finish this cycle, we have the moon also connecting with Mars. And so the moon connecting with Mars, you may have a few more little moments of 2016 temper tantrums. Why did it have to be this way? If that comes up, anytime the moon and Mars, interact, this energy can happen. Recognize where you're still trying to control, and also recognize, look at this card. Somebody pointed this out to me once, and I love this. That light coming in on top, that's the control. Allowing your light to come in, allowing the light to show up. That's what you can control. The rest is like being a child that's afraid to move forward into the light, into the flow, into heaven on earth, really. So pay attention to yourself, hold steady with that, and release that stuff, because I think this is a big day for release as we move into that new moon. So the new moon is happening at 10:53 p.m. Pacific time. It's happening at 7 degrees, 59 minutes. So literally that's exactly right on the edge of 7 and 8 degrees. So I read the Sabian symbol for both yesterday, and I will read it again. A veiled prophet speaks, seized by the power of God. So that's 7 degrees. Calling in the light, calling in our higher self, calling in our guides, calling in the divinity that we are. And then 8 degrees, in a sunlit home, domesticated birds singing joyously. And so that to me is like, okay, the enlightenment, the light, it's flowing, it's in and through you. And then yet, as you move forward, chop wood, carry water. Keep going about your personal work. For the birds, it's singing their songs. What is your song? What's the beauty that you're here to do? How can you move forward in this? And how can you plant seeds supporting this energy? So I actually wrote down a wonderful little thing the other day. I think I heard it in an Abraham thing. I always jot down notes as I hear them, and I don't always write down where I see them, but I believe this was Abraham. And the intention was to be as alive as the energy of the universe. And to me, this is an opportunity to plant these seeds of light with this new moon. Plant seeds with this new moon intention for the light to be as alive as the universe, as alive in my flow, as alive as, what else did I have? I had a lot of different things around that, but basically as alive as the universe. Can you plant seeds of that to show up in your light for 2017, for completing 2016, the intense year that it's been? Can you show up in your light to finish this off? And then to raise your vibration as Uranus moves direct. We'll talk about that more tomorrow, but Uranus moving direct and preparing to put your new I am vibration that you have cultivated through this year of release into this healing and into bringing divine consciousness. Here we are, the existence and the consciousness cards. So to finish up, I have, which I think this is a big part of this year, I have the wounded child card from the archetypes. And the light attribute awakens compassion, desire to serve other wounded children and children in general. Open to the learning path of forgiveness. There we have that forgiveness key. The shadow attribute blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. Resist moving on through forgiveness. So here we have that forgiveness key as this healing energy. And to me, it's like, you're a child at every age. So this may be your, 30-year-old child from this last year, from 2016, that's like holding 2016 against the universe. And now is the call for forgiveness to move forward with healing into these seeds to be as alive as the universe. So that is it for today. Happy new moon. Happy progressing forward. So we finish up this 9-year and move into the 1. Happy healing, happy forgiveness. Book a reading if you want to dive in deeper with me. I have my reading sales going, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.